Please give me a whole tray of peas. Thank you.
Have you ever craved a whole tray of peas? Probably not, but you've very likely played a game like this during school. This Peas Trays video comes from the game Jumpstart First Grade, and this series has sold over 13 million copies, making it an iconic and well-respected game in the education genre. But not every game shares this reputation. Most school games are pretty unremarkable. They usually aren't fundamentally unsettling or make you question who controls your life, but some of them are more suspicious, like the strange nutrition game, Camp Eatawella. Camp Eatawella was developed in 2002 by nutrition pathfinders allegedly to address childhood obesity. Using a computer game to promote fitness always felt weird, but it's this game's obsession with milk that really stood out. Learning that the California Dairy Council sponsored this game made me want to find out what was really happening beneath the surface. To find out, I'll first play through the game, then I'll review whether it truly encouraged healthy living or did the opposite. That jingle still plays in my nightmares to this day.
Welcome to Camp Eatawella, campers! Eating healthy food and getting plenty of exercise during each activity will all add up to help you win the canoe race on the last day of camp.
We are told this requires canoe points and teamwork points, but exactly what these points do is unclear. You build canoe points by exercising and eating a balanced diet of grains, proteins, fruits, vegetables, and milk. You also need to wash your hands, which earns 10 minutes of exercise. You earn teamwork points through group activities with your 3 teammates or feeding them their favorite foods, which all happen to be some sort of milk product.
Pick a fun name for your cabin.
These salmons are extra fresh.
I noticed there's no profanity filter for anything you write in this game, which was pretty standard for games at this time. But this was a major oversight since whatever you type gets posted to a publicly visible leaderboard on a government website. There's also an advertisement encouraging players to ask for their own Camp Eatawella scrapbook. Fortunately, there was one last in stock on Amazon, so I had to swoop it up.
This is the Snack Shack. Your cabin has $16 to buy enough snacks to eat during all 3 days at camp.
The preparation phase starts where you purchase snacks from the camp store. We need to cover all food pyramid categories to maximize the canoe points. But this is difficult since the Camp Eatawella store sells more junk food than vegetables.
Red 40, red 40, red 40, red 40, red 40.
The only vegetable available is a carrot. They could have at least added a bell pepper or something.
Man, come on now, get that pep off there.
The food descriptions are also questionable, particularly when it comes to dairy products. The ice cream first highlights its protein content and calcium for strong bones. And as a matter of fact, chocolate milk, pudding cups, milkshakes, and all dairy products share the same description. In fairness, ice cream, chocolate milk, and milkshakes do contain protein. You just need to consume an absurd amount since they're mostly fat and sugar to get a reasonable serving.
1,000 calories in the milk jug, 70 grams of protein. So I'll just drink this on the way home.
The good news is that speedrunners can get the same canoe points with the $1.50 ice cream as the $3 yogurt. The Snack Shack advice was disappointing, but I'm hoping that the expert nutritionist will provide clearer guidance and more solid advice.
If you have questions about healthy eating, be sure to click here to ask the expert.
What's up guys, Derek from MorePlatesMoreDates.com. This is going to be a quick video on how to get shredded. This is egg whites in a carton. If you have like a whole carton of this per day, that's an extra 112 grams protein, 240 calories.
The game offers some recommendations such as avoiding foods with celebrity endorsements, not overdoing diets for growing children, and eating cereal and eggs for breakfast.
Good example of a breakfast would be scrambled eggs and toast, or even a bowl of cereal and an egg.
Oh, if I'm gonna have cereal, why would I use milk when I can use fucking egg whites? So I'd put cereal in egg whites and I'd get an extra, 50 grams of protein out of it.
In reality, they mostly regurgitate the contemporary government food pyramid system called My Pyramid, which has its own problems that I'll discuss later. The game's pyramid is mostly standard, but it gets weird with the milk section where the servings actually get bigger towards the top. Most government pyramids recommend 1 to 3 milk servings, but Camp Eatawella has gone totally off the chain with 4 servings. The game also recommends avoiding diet soda because of its high salt content. Maybe this was originally supposed to be Gatorade or prime, but as long as it fills the red 40 block of the food pyramid, it's the same thing, it doesn't matter.
Hold on, I can't drink my water. I didn't add enough red 40 drops into my water.
Instead of calculating the foods that satisfy my budget and the food pyramid, I just put my faith in the Dairy Council and buy some ice cream instead. Fortunately, the meals at Camp Eatawella are free. You just wash your hands and choose from 3 dishes and click the big Eat It button. Milk is still promoted, but it's the same as the camp store, so there's nothing new going on. This is pretty unengaging because you simply select an option like go horseback riding and watch an automatic animation. For a game allegedly about health, I was surprised how little emphasis the game puts on activities and exercise. I was hoping the activities would be their own mini game, or at least have some PE coach expert videos, kind of like the nutritionist.
Today we're going to be talking about how to develop 3D delts.
Exercise really isn't the point of this game. It's about supporting the dairy industry.
Some cheese with crackers would taste great right about now.
At snack time, my teammate Brett craved his favorite food.
Cheese.
I couldn't afford cheese at the camp store, but I remembered the more affordable ice cream cups I'd bought instead. He ate the ice cream without complaint, and I even received a message praising my choice of a healthy snack. Throughout the week, random events can unexpectedly boost or harm your teamwork points. Losing points is the most interesting because it's usually due to your campmates publicly humiliating each other.
Oh no! Looks like the camp chef had to leave suddenly before he could make dinner.
We have to cook.
The first real minigame happens at dinner time, where you choose a recipe and prepare the food. Ideally, if you want to maximize canoe points, you should choose recipes with ingredients that fill your food pyramid, but the more exotic recipes in the cookbook were much more entertaining. I do appreciate that you can make waffles, eggs, and ham for your dinner entree, but the most entertaining side dish by far is the corn with sliced bananas. If you want a tasty serving of vegetables, you can make pizza bagels. This might seem like a stretch, but it actually follows public school dietary standards, as I'll cover in my review.
Hurry up, campers! Not much time before dinner. Gather as many of the items on the list as you can. Good try, everyone. Let's see what we can whip up with the ingredients you were able to find.
That didn't feel like gross.
It was disgusting. I wish
To be fair, the kitchen wasn't organized. The bananas are in the fridge, while tuna fish and a whole pie are left completely exposed in the pantry.
Okay, campers, let's spend some time thinking about what we did at camp today. Think about the food and activity choices you made today while you answer the questions.
You write in your reflection journal at the end of every day. I was thinking writing about how you're forced to scavenge for food in under 60 seconds or starve, since it really doesn't fit the healthy eating theme of this game. That's pretty much the meat and potatoes of the Camp Eatawella gameplay. The game just repeats this on a loop until the final day of the canoe race.
Today is the day we've all been waiting for. The camp canoe race is about to start. This is the time when all of your healthy eating, physical activity, and teamwork over the past 3 days really pays off.
We only now learn the purpose of the canoe points. The canoe points convert into normal canoe rows, whereas teamwork points convert into turbo rows. It doesn't even show which canoe is mine, so it's a little confusing.
Row, 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 row. Row, 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 row.
I think I barely lost, but it doesn't seem to matter, since I still received this nice certificate of achievement. And that's the entire game, Camp Eatawella. There were some interesting cities on the leaderboard, such as Joe Mama, California, iCub City, John Cena, Massachusetts, and Poopy Pants, California. I'm glad I captured the leaderboard footage when I did, because since uploading the video, the website now redirects to a random Chinese company that bought the domain. I hoped that the scrapbook would be a giant almanac of Camp Eatawella lore, but it turned out to be only a few pages long. One diagram shows the intensities of different exercises, interestingly rating both volleyball and weightlifting as less intense than walking. But even more surprising is that the most intense activity on the whole scale is cross-country skiing. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's strange to put this as the #1 most hardcore physical activity, considering most 4th graders probably aren't going to swap their Saturday morning gaming for cross-country skiing. There's also a page that shows some example foods from each food category in the pyramid. I just wanted to make a meal plan that this game would consider optimal. For breakfast, you get waffles, pizza bagels, chocolate pudding, orange juice, and ice cream. For lunch, you get French toast, cornbread, a milkshake, a graham cracker, and creamy fruit salad, which is just chopped fruit with sour cream. For dinner, you get a hot dog with a pickle, fried chicken, chips and salsa, and hot chocolate. Maybe this isn't the worst diet in the world, and you could choose different options that also fill the food pyramid, but it just goes to show the food pyramid's limitations and this game's scoring system. This game is supposed to promote healthy eating, but the advice is either outdated or a Big Milk psychological operation. Both the food pyramids and Camp Eatawella recommend reducing fat intake, but what they don't acknowledge is that essential fatty acids are essential for survival. Reasonable people can debate the health benefits of saturated fat like those in butter, but the game should at least distinguish between the universally recognized healthy fats like those in olive oil, or fresh avocados, and the not-so-healthy fats like one in a Baconator. This nuance is especially important for parents and teachers to understand, since if kids were to get zero fat in their diet, they would literally perish. It makes sense why Michelle Obama invented the food plate. A modern Camp Eatawella would probably have at least 2 vegetables in the camp store.
These vegetables. I don't eat vegetables. Because vegetables are bad for my body. These are toxic. This leads to arthritis, diabetes, inflammation, gut microbiome issues, IBS, and Crohn's disease. Michelle Obama says pizzas are vegetables.
Camp Eatawella endorses the ketchup as a vegetable, otherwise known as the pizza is a vegetable hypothesis. This concept was first popularized in the 1980s by the USDA's Food and Nutrition Service while they were manipulating school dietary standards in order to save money. The Food and Nutrition Service proposed all kinds of nutritional shortcuts, a notable example being replacing beef patties with soybean cakes. The issue is that the micronutrient content and the protein quality aren't equivalent, and this is true when you consider almost any substitution with this many variables, like in nutrition. So the Food and Nutrition Service decided that it was much easier to simply loosen the definition of the nutritional requirements, and so they reduced the minimum volume of a serving of vegetables down to just 2 tablespoons. This meant that a thin layer of pizza sauce on a tortilla counts as a serving of vegetables. My nitpicking isn't because I expect 4th graders to follow this game's advice to a letter, rather it's because countless parents and teachers might, and just be misled into a bad diet based on this game's bad information. The unfortunate truth is that childhood obesity often isn't the kid's fault, especially if they're force-fed school lunches. A computer game isn't gonna change that. Like, I distinctly remember in high school my friend drinking gray refried beans out of a straw, like out of the tin. It turns out, even by the Nutrition Pathfinders' own report, their decades-long campaign, which included this game, didn't do a whole lot to rectify childhood obesity. Nationally, childhood obesity is still increasing, and according to the CDC, it's even accelerating, especially since the pandemic in 2020. Nutrition is too nuanced of a topic to try and condense into a short kids game. They should have really kept the message simpler, like more along the lines of, wash your hands and maybe consider eating a fruit and or a vegetable now and then. Or even better, just let the kids play outside instead of forcing them to play a computer game.